Without World Cup football in what feels like forever. But worry not, there is still a lot to look forward to with those big-name quarter-finals coming up. We've also got Stuart Robson with us, and outside the Portugal team hotel in Qatar is Alexis Nunes, and that's exactly where we will be starting tonight with all the talk from the Portugal camp. After booking their spot in the quarter-finals, it was a super showing from 21-year-old Gonzalo Ramos, wasn't it? A hat-trick and an assist on his first start in the World Cup. Portuguese media understandably swooning over the youngster. Anyway, when asked about Cristiano Ronaldo, the man he replaced in the starting 11 being benched, Fernando Santos, the Portugal manager, said, "There is no problem with our captain. We've been friends for years. We spoke before the game and he had no issue with my decision. He's an example." Ronaldo himself took to Instagram to say, "Incredible day for Portugal. With a historic result in the biggest competition in world football, luxury exhibition of a team full of talent and youth, a seleção that is to be congratulated. The dream is alive until the end. Strength Portugal." Now, Ale, we talked about this yesterday, the fact that he was benched by Fernando Santos. But, Stevie, this is the first time we've seen you since that happened, and I wonder if you were surprised by that decision.
I was absolutely shocked. Shocked. And I think I'm even more shocked listening to what Santos says and listening to what Ronaldo says, because, I mean, in some ways, what's the difference between Man United and Portugal? It's like, how dare you to Manchester United? How dare you treat me like this? How dare you ask me to come on as a sub? How dare you do this? How dare you disrespect me? How dare you? But all of a sudden, it seems like, no, this is the best thing for the team. I understand it. I'm behind the team. I'm a supporter of the team now. And if I can get on and play, then that's even better. How is that? How can that be so two-sided for your international team and your club team? It makes no sense.
Robbo, what are your thoughts on it? And how different are this Portugal side without him in the starting 11?
Well, first of all, we should be talking about Ramos and his 3 goals and the way Portugal play, because they're absolutely brilliant. And they looked a much better side without Ronaldo. They had had a better system in the front areas. They had players pressing the ball. They had players staying in their right position, players running off Ramos. It looked a totally different outfit. When you go back to Stevie's comments, does he really believe what Ronaldo said in those comments there, that he was happy to be a substitute, he was happy with the decision? I don't think he is. I think he had a little think about it today after the game when he walked away from the other players and then changed his mind, thought, I better show some respect for the rest of my teammates and Portugal as a national side.
But is this the right thing that they are doing, both the coach and the player, putting these statements out there, Ale?
No, of course. Everybody's saying the right things. As to how Cristiano Ronaldo feels, well, we don't really know. We have to judge Cristiano Ronaldo much more so by actions than whatever statement he puts out on Instagram or whatever social platform he decides to utilize. Yesterday, as the team was going to celebrate with their fans, Cristiano Ronaldo by himself started walking away into the locker room. Now, this is not me making this up. This is the action of Cristiano Ronaldo. So the team is celebrating, they're going to their fans, they're clapping, everybody's together, and he's going the opposite direction. That sort of behavior is very similar to what we saw from Cristiano Ronaldo at Manchester United. But perhaps he has taken a step back. Perhaps he has seen the bigger picture. Perhaps he has seen the light. And he now understands that he has an important role to play with this team, but it's not going to be a starting role. There may be a moment in which they need a big goal from Cristiano Ronaldo, but it's not going to be from the beginning of the game. Because what we saw from Portugal yesterday, without Ronaldo on the field, and with everybody else, not only Gonzalo Ramos, but everybody else, and the attitude of the group as a whole was a team that was free, a team that was now more dynamic, that you weren't just looking for Ronaldo, you weren't just looking to please somebody, you were looking for the right pass and the right movement. Everybody utilizing their own brains, not his brain, their own brains, to see the game, to react to the game, and make the decisions that made sense to them. Not make decisions that made sense to Cristiano Ronaldo and for Cristiano Ronaldo. This is why Portugal are better, because everybody now is playing at a different level. and Cristiano Ronaldo has to find a way to accept that.
And still the reports are coming out. We've seen some reports today that Cristiano Ronaldo refused to train with the subs the day after this. We'd like to shed some light on the credibility of those reports. Alexis Nunes, as I mentioned, is outside the Portugal team hotel right now. What are you hearing there, Alexis?
Yeah, Kay, we're just in another city outside of Doha, pretty much about 40 minutes outside of Doha, right in front of the Portugal team hotel, which is pretty much a fortress. I mean, this is as close as we could get to it. We're in the parking lot, and why not? Because all eyes have been on Portugal after that massive win last night, and all eyes will continue to be on one man, Cristiano Ronaldo. Today is the first day that we've had without any games in this World Cup. It was supposed to be a chill day, but a lot of people flocked to that Portugal training today. And look, it wasn't a major training. It was just to keep the guys moving. The boys in studio will know what it's like. Those that were the starters yesterday, part of the starting 11, they did some work in the gym with resistance bands and whatnot. And then the rest of the subs that came on, they were out. They had their football boots on, and they did train like that. Cristiano Ronaldo, who was a sub yesterday, as you know by now, was not a part of the subs. Instead, he chose to train with the boys inside the gym. He was seen using resistance bands. He didn't put on his football boots at any point. He stayed in his trainers and kind of kept things lightly. What we cannot confirm, though, we've spoken to a number of the journalists that were there, is whether it was his decision or not. So we cannot outright say that he refused to train with the subs or if that was just part of the plan. They did ask the Portuguese media there if, you know, maybe he was carrying something, even though he didn't start yesterday, and the Portuguese FA rubbished that claim. They said, no, he's perfectly fine, but they didn't give any more details. Now, Portugal are set to have a media session, a press conference with Fernando Santos on Friday ahead of their quarterfinal match. No doubt a lot of those questions will be about Cristiano Ronaldo because everybody continues watching him under a magnifying glass. But for now, we cannot say that he refused to play or train with the subs. However, he did not take part on the pitch. Instead, he did all his work inside the gym.
Just to let everybody know, when you have a player not just that good, but that old in your squad, whether it's a club team or an international side, when you have a player of 37 years of age, probably every day that there's going to be any sort of training, the manager, the coach, the fitness coach, whoever's in charge, will go to that player and say, how are you feeling today? Should you do a bit today? Should you leave it? Should you do a bit of stretching? So it shouldn't be a surprise that every day for Ronaldo is different. This has got nothing to do with the stuff we've been talking about, I don't think. This is about what's best for the player, which ultimately is going to be best for the squad if he's to be brought on in a game.
So they're making a mountain out of a molehill, this report?
I'm just saying that players of that age are dealt a little differently than any other player.
Right. Well, Cristiano Ronaldo has actually distanced himself from reports of him going to the Saudi Arabian side, Al Nassr, for what would be an exorbitant fee, Ali. Where do you think he should go?
Major League Soccer, baby. Come on down. If Cristiano Ronaldo wants to make a move that is outside of Europe, because seemingly the moves in Europe are no longer available to him, certainly at the salary that he would command, come to Major League Soccer, because anything and everything that you would want will be made available to you on your terms.
Except the money.
Never mind that, Stevie.
No, that's unfortunately that unfortunately I think is the most important bit for him.
Well, but here's what I would say. Here's what I would say. On the field, yes, the money will not be what it could be in other places.
Right.
Off the field, that money will be available to him on all sorts of different outlets that have nothing to do with his performance on the field for any Major League Soccer team.
Yeah, and who's even offering what this Saudi Arabian side are offering, Stevie? So it does show that he still wants to achieve what he can.
Well, he needs it, doesn't he? He needs
elsewhere.
to make sure he tops up his pension, right?
I'm not too sure about that. Robert, what are your thoughts on it about Cristiano Ronaldo? Does he still have a lot to offer at the top?
He has a lot to offer in the MLS, and I absolutely agree with Ali. If he goes to one of the top sides in Europe, he'll still have the same problems. The manager, after 3 or 4 games, will say, I'm not sure that he can do this, and I'm not sure he can do that. He's not staying in the position I'm asking him to play in. Then when I take him off, he has a sulk. If he goes to an MLS club, he will be the star player. He'll be able to dictate the terms of where he plays and when he plays. and it will be the right place for him. And he'll probably have another good couple of years and be a brilliant signing for any MLS club.